boom, boom. What's up, people? It's Airsoft Special Ops, and it's man like Yard Man Leng. You see me? So, this video has been like heavily requested, if I'm to be honest. I haven't had a lot of time, just been busy with work and music and all these other things. Life, you know how life gets. But for some reason, like on my pages, I've been pestered about the mag comparison. So I'm gonna do that. I also wanted to do a little Easter egg for you guys, seeing as we're doing this video. And that's why I'm wearing my chest protection. So I kind of wanted to just start there, kind of go through adjustments I've made. Cause I literally basically bought this empty. It had nothing that you see, so it never had this gun sling, which I've done some adjustments to. I'll talk about that. It never had none of these patches across the top. You never had none of these countries on the side. Never had nothing basically. So I'm going to talk you through why I've done what I've done. So basically, and I'll just show you guys. So I think the first things I've done to this vest, and it does have a protection plate, it's why this inner bit is so thick. It also does have the, I think all of them are like this anyway, where you can like tear off one side, tear off the other side. So yeah, that's that, basics. And I'll show you the back as well. You can see the side. See the other side. And then I'll show you the back. You get it? So I do have my protection and I put my airsoft. I think I've done a video on it anyway. So for those of you who are...
Wait a minute!
Imagine.
Who are you?
For those of you who are subscribers, you would have seen that one anyway. I kind of just wanted to do an update and show you why I've done certain things. So for me, I kind of wanted to represent, like, I'm a UK player. I live in the UK. That's my region, if you want to call it that. So I had to put the UK on that side. At first I did one, and then it looked pretty cool, so I stamped one more down the bottom. Also, you know me, I'm a yard man. I Jamaica, my band and grow. And then I came here when I was quite young. So, you know, I had to represent, and the same thing, it looked cool, so I ended up putting two. The channel is the channel, so, you know, I had to put my Airsoft Special Ops, and I've got it on the back. Like I said, those of you who are subscribers, you should have seen that video anyway. Next, and I kind of just want to go into this just because this was probably the next thing that I did, was one of these. Yes, it looks like a basic screwdriver, but because it's a plus sign and it's small, it gives me the ability to basically take apart anything from scopes to other scopes to even adjusting things like triggers and things like that. But don't worry about this because you're probably like, what is that? It looks a bit weird. We will talk about that in another video. And I think it's just useful, especially for people who are pistol users. I'm not sure too much about rifles. As I grow within my airsoft journey, I'll speak on these things. So yeah, it's just a bad word. Plus the conversion kit, for those of you who actually know, to pull these two bolts, there's the second one, and that one right there, and this one. To pull them, you actually have to push on the opposite sides. I'll show you guys quickly. So I've made some adjustments to even this. This is something I'll do in another video as well, because you're probably like, this looks proper different. So one bolt there, and one bolt at the top over there. You need something like this to push through. So again, that's why that's there. And it's just useful because on the field you won't have a lot of things that you can take with you unless you have a backpack. And even if you have a backpack, you need enough cover and time to go into this backpack and search through what you need and put stuff together. So it is wise to just have essential things like that, basically, while we're on my body armor. I think the next couple things was patches. So for me, I went for the Boss Crystal straight off the top, so it came with this patch. The first game I didn't use it for some reason, I don't know why. I think I was just trying to work out in my head what to do with it, whether it was going to sit on my helmet or my chest plate. In the end, I went for the chest plate. So there is a game, if I'm correct, on Sunday. Yeah, it will be the first time I take these things out. This I put on it last game because obviously Splatoon, that's where we go and play often. That's where I kind of got back into my airsoft journey, and I've had my first 3 games there. So yeah, like for me, they showed me love, I'm trying to show them love back, so I was on my chest plate. And then the Raven, you're probably like, bro, I didn't see that one. I ended up adding a Raven into my conversion kit, and you're probably looking at it thinking, right, that's not a Raven. But again, I'll talk about all these things in another video because I have done updates to both my sidearm. It's where it looks a bit different. And I have done the same thing again to my rifle. Like obviously there's a new pistol in there, and even like things like the mag. I should have protection on, but it's on safety. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. It's actually not cocked. Safety's on. So yeah, plus my secondary safety's on, so that's why I don't have it on. So yeah, again, I've made adjustments to it, etc. Again, we'll talk about that in another video. And then I think the last thing, again, I just wanted to represent Raven. That's why I put it on there. You're probably like, what? You didn't finish. And then I think the next thing, I'm still due to add a few more things because I want like mag carriers. I'm trying to work out if I'm gonna have those on my belt only or if I'm gonna put them on my chest. For the more, I'm gonna test it on my belt and see how I get along with it. The last thing is my gunsling. Again, big up Airsoft Madness. He's actually been a legend in supporting me on this airsoft journey, just because from just trying to work out how to get my UKRA license, how and what legislations and laws I should be following, as well as just understanding things like where to go and play, how to be safe, what to buy, things like having stuff like this so my nozzle is covered when I'm in the safe zones and things like that. He's been such a hand, and I had used one of his chest plates and like it had something like this, so I was able to attach my rifle to it the whole day. And I noticed, yeah, by the end of the day my thighs were killing me, but I did notice by the end of the day it was like I wasn't stressed because I could just literally let go of the gun, it would hang and then go to my sidearm with quick speed. So when I ended up getting my own, that first game I never had this, so the whole game I just had the conversion kit in hand, and I'm not gonna lie to you, like it does weigh quite a bit. So if you're like this the whole day, after like the 4th game, your shoulders is feeling it because it does, the conversion kit weighs its own weight, plus you're carrying an extra mag, plus you're carrying the actual pistol itself. So these are things to think about when going for the conversion kit. I still love it, but that's because, like I said, I'm willing to take these things into consideration and make adjustments for them via why you see certain things done to my current conversion kit. But yeah, so I went for my own sling, made some adjustments. I ran it all the way through my chest plate, shoulders, so I've got some kind of support. I can also detach it if I want because I've got these clips right here. Show you quickly. I could detach it if I want and change and adjust, and this is kind of why I went for this one. Same with the other side. And if I wanted long term, I'll show you. I could. There's the thing right at the top of my, where is it, right there? I could attach even that into a bag system, which would basically allow me to carry a bag and have this on, whereas it might get tangled if you don't connect it, if that makes sense. So via why I went for this, and it never cost me much. I think I probably paid like £11 for it. This is why I say go custom, guys, but big up the companies who put it all together for you. But for me, I like custom stuff. Even my chest plate, I think I might make some adjustments to like widths and stuff like that, because obviously in certain areas I'm a bit more built, so it presses harder, like for example my chest. Whereas if I loosened the arms or even loosened the waist, it might give me that little extra area I'm looking for while still remaining how I want it. and I think maybe the inside plate as well, I might bend it a bit just so that, I'll show you what I mean, so it sits on the chest a bit more nicely, like say it's sat like that. That would be nice for me, and I know I can get this adjusted. I think it's just me not using the time period, because look at that there. That's something I could close up, and look how tight it would sit. I would still want the chest loose just so a nigga can breathe, and maybe I'd loosen up areas like this as well, just to make sure that it's not hindering my breathing. Like, have it slightly looser. The only thing with doing things like this, I noticed in one of the games last time, was like, then it just moves about quite a lot, but even now that's comfortable. See what I'm saying? And it sits calm, and you know what I'm trying to say, everything's all good. So yeah, so yeah, let's get into the vid. So the bad boys we're gonna be talking about, I'm again not gonna try and pronounce the name of this company, but it's spelled ARSUK. Very nice speed loader, holds 90 rounds. I've done a video on it, trust me, go and look on the channel. You'll be able to see each video, the video about this. And I think I've also done one on this. This is the Bulldog 150 mag speed loader. So yeah. Now this is basically what you guys wanted me to talk about, differences. To be honest, maybe this probably won't be the most exciting video, and I say this just because for me, I feel like these speed loaders are a duplicate of each other. One's just one's little brother, and I say this just because, for example, if you look at them side by side, yeah, do they not look like the same thing? That's the top half. I was looking for subject matter. That's the back. That's the other side. They basically look like duplicates of each other. So for me, if I was gonna, like for example, do a comparison to rank them, they would rank very close to each other. This probably would win just because of the capacity difference, because 90 to 150 is quite a difference. That's 60, bro. Like, that's useful, especially with something like a handgun, because that's 23 rounds. That's almost 3 mags. Do you kind of get what I'm trying to say? Difference. So for me, it would always be this one. However, upon using them for a little bit, because like I said, even the markings, like as I'm looking at them, the markings are near enough the same. So I'm like, maybe this is also a Bulldog, and it's just been rebranded by this company. Because I get it, like I do that sometimes. I might buy something and then brand it with my own stuff, or I might collab with somebody so it's got both our branding and these things. So I get it. But for me, like I said, like what I would say is, capacity-wise, this one wins. In terms of smoothness of how certain things run, I would say this one. And I say this just because you see this little nozzle right here. I feel like this one for me feeds a bit better, but that might just be because if you look in there, there's like a spring in the middle, right? As I press it, that spring will move. If you guys can see that. And it's the same with this one. Let me open that. It's the same, there's a spring there. As I press it, this will move. The only thing for me in the difference of like build quality would be this. Because upon reflection, I did say in the other video that the smaller one felt like cheaper built than this. But now, after using them both for quite some time, I kind of feel like it's the same plastic. I feel like at the time it was just maybe my brain kind of analyzing the fact that it was smaller and almost thinking that was the difference, but realistically they're the same material. It's just branding that's slightly different. As I'm looking at it, even like the supports, the plastic supports that make up the body is the same. The carvings, the markings, everything's the same. So for me, I would say, yeah, definitely this one. But I would say the feeder on this one, and like I said, it might be just because of the spring, so maybe there's a way you can open this up and make those adjustments yourself. I might look into that myself over time, open it up and just maybe change out the spring. I feel like this one is a bit more reliable, and I say this just because last game I used this all 6 games that we played. I think it was 6 or 7 games that we played. I used this in every single one. And I'm not gonna lie, by the end of it, my biggest complaint was just I wish the capacity was more, or I wish I had 2 or 3 of these, because then that's like having 90 times 3. That's what 180. My maths is terrible, man. I'm so tired. 180. How am I doing this? I'm normally good with this stuff like this. 180. That's 70, right? So that's 270. Did you see? I don't know why it took me that long. Like I said, I'm tired, guys. Like, it's been a very long week. My work and music and late nights in studio, it does you in. So I'm definitely gonna spend the next couple of days getting some rest. But yeah, man. Like for me, those would be the two biggest differences. Like the loader button, a bit more reliable here. However, capacity here is good. And like I said, though I say the loading is better here, it's like the feed is still good on this. I just feel like this plastic arm, I've had sometimes where I've slammed it and thought, oh, I might snap that. Whereas with this one, it looks the same thinness, but like I said, it might just be the spring. I haven't felt that. Like every time I've pressed it, the flow has been very good, but we also have to take into mind that it does have this extra area, so it might be in it trying to fall from that area and load. Do you see where that bend might come from? I do understand it. And when you're in the pressure of trying to like panic and refill and wow, there's ops running around, I get it. But I will say, like, if Bulldog is the maker of this one, like, yeah, they're defo wavy because they're cheap mags. Like I said, I think I paid probably like £9, £10 for this, and I think the same, I probably paid like £12, £13 for this, and for me, that's affordable. Like, airsoft should be fun and affordable, right? And that's what this is. So yeah, like I would definitely recommend them. Like some people might look at this and say, oh, you bought the cheapest, what? I've got this cool one, I paid $600 for it and it does this and it does that. But for me, I'm about how do I put it? Like I'm about how well something works. There's no point in me having an amazing looking thing that's gold imprinted and stamped by this guy and done by this and all these things if it does not do what I need it to do in the way I need it to do it. Do you kind of get what I'm trying to say? Whereas this does do what I want it to do in a very cool way, and it's simple and does its job and reliable as well. So yeah, man, big up Bulldog. Big up Bulldog for true. Yeah. I feel I'm not gonna sit here and waffle anymore to you guys because that's that.